We've all seen 100 garbage trucks in our lives, possibly even thousands. But did you know that the driver of that truck that you see every week is working in the 5th most dangerous job in America? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you just some of the reasons why that is. The main reasons is traffic hazards. You know, we're out here every day on the streets, on the ground. Sometimes we're actually picking up on major roads because some people live on major streets. So we have to always be worried about traffic and cars, where people are coming from. You'd be surprised, just some people just don't want to wait for us. And they'll zoom around on the sidewalks. And I come so close week after week to getting hit by cars. They're worried about other things. They could be looking at their phone, or they could be looking at something else. And next thing you know, I'm almost getting hit by a truck. Next thing on the list, as you can see, things being put into the hopper, into the truck. It's just, never know what is coming up in the next pile. You know, like this would be a most standard looking pile of all time, but you just never know. There could be anything buried underneath there. You know, there could be a battery, pool chemicals, anything like that that can get thrown in there. I've done videos before about what happens to a truck when it catches on fire. It's not a free sight. This can go really arise. You know, we try to do our part when it comes to trying to find stuff before it gets put into the truck. But sometimes you can't get to it in time, or you don't see it and it gets put in there and you don't realize it. Next thing you know, you got flames coming out of the back of your truck. It's very dangerous. Hey, look at this. It's like I'm walking around with toilet paper. Don't I feel like an idiot? Next up on the list, we got heat exhaustion, heat stroke, hypothermia, frostbite, all those things. You know, we're out here every day. Heat exhaustion.
You have heat exhaustion.
And heat stroke are especially prevalent here in the Southwest, Arizona. Starting in the middle of summer, and it's been 115 yesterday. It's about 110, I think 112 today. So we are constantly drinking water. I mean, water is a massive thing. I drink the Element, the hydration packs. Those are key. We sweat so much when we're out here during the middle of the summer. And it's just, it makes a huge difference. So heat exhaustion, heat stroke, I mean, you gotta learn the signs. You gotta know what to do if you ever start getting dizzy or nauseous, anything like that. Definitely find some shade. I always have a 5-gallon bucket of water right there. But yeah, heat exhaustion is a huge thing for us in bulk. Guys in the north, you know, the northern states, you know, they got the hypothermias and frostbite. I spent a lot of time, most of my life in Minnesota, doing front load and stuff like that in Minnesota. I know what it's like to be cold. I've had it to where my truck is broke down and it's 10 below zero outside. It doesn't take long for that truck to get cold. And if you don't have an extra jacket or a blanket or something like that in your truck to keep you warm while you're waiting on a tow truck or waiting on a mechanic, you know, it could cause a serious problem. Next on the list, we got small injuries can lead to big problems. Now, we're out here every day and we're moving and shaking and busting our butts. You know, you get little injuries here and there, and you know, it just sometimes they can compound bigger problems. Not always because of this job, but it leads to other issues. You know, you could tweak your ankle or something getting in and out of the truck. That car just buzzed right past him, didn't even slow down. And so those are the things that, you know, we're dealing with out here. But it's just little, you know, you might hurt your finger and you might not think anything of it, and the next thing you know, it doesn't really get better. You know, it's just little things that can add up to bigger problems in the end. I would have to say the number one reason why being a garbage man or sanitation worker is one of the most dangerous jobs in the United States. It's just the absolute truck itself. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong with it, with the actual truck. The big thing is that today, clear example, we're working with 3 guys today. Generally we work with 2. When you work with 3, that means you have to have a guy riding on the back. That poses its own problems. Now with me driving the truck right now, I have to worry about him hanging off the back, and that poses a bunch of other problems. I have to constantly be aware of where he is at all times. I don't know if you can see in the mirror, but he's hanging on the back there. So I have to kind of, you know, slow my speed down just a little bit, you know, not take super sharp turns, and it's just always got to be cognizant of where he's at. You know, I can't get too close to cars on that side because I have a guy that kind of sticks out a little bit. I don't want to hit him with anything, these garbage cans that are sitting here. So it poses a new problem. If I'm backing up for some reason, which we don't do a lot of in bulk, but when I do, I have to constantly know where that guy is. You hear a lot of horror stories every year about guys backing over their partners because they fell off, they weren't paying attention, and the next thing you know, they're getting run over, and it's just not pretty. And you got the Packer. That can do a lot of damage. That blade right there can do a lot of damage to a person. And you got the tailgate. When you're dumping out at the landfills or the transfer stations, you're not paying attention to what you're doing. That thing can do a lot of damage to you. So yes, the truck, this big, beautiful machine, can do a lot of damage. It injures and kills so many garbage men a year. A lot of the stuff with the Packer and the tailgate is all generally human error. Now, some freaky things have happened, but generally it's because the driver wasn't trained properly, or they're cutting corners, not properly doing lockout tagout procedures. Ends up being deadly or extremely costly to that driver.
Furthermore, we doing this for y'all. Rapid stress, but it feel great. When you up, but when you in a slump, you get real low and can't think straight. Put it all in each mixtape, so many long nights in my mother's house. Trouble boy, bring the trouble now. Since V1, I've been double down. Life's a gamble till we part ways. When we win, we just parlay. Build a pot till it pays back, and then it pays off for all of our pain that we downplayed. Just to maintain, so that I avoid a breakdown. But you can't run away when you paving the way. Gotta navigate through the dark lanes any way that you can, just so you can find a light to the path. Write you a plan, get right.
So those are just some of the reasons why being a garbage man is one of the most dangerous professions in the United States. So the next time you see a garbage man out there, thank him, give him some room, slow down, and just know they have one of the most dangerous jobs in the United States.
And again, maybe I'll never win. We've been at this for a long time, from the dark side to get no shine. Going underground to find a gold mine, I'm digging.